welcome or welcome back to the Golden Aura Energy Healing and Wellness Podcast. My name is Faye. I carry many certifications. My passion, though, is helping people reconnect with themselves through mindfulness, movement, energy work, and holistic wellness practices. So today's episode is going to be part 2 on awareness. So I want you to take another slow, deep breath with me. So inhale and exhale. And as you breathe, notice something. Not change it, not fix it, but just notice it. How does that breath feel in your body? How fast is your mind moving? Are you relaxed? Are you distracted? Are you thinking about maybe what happened yesterday? Are you worried about what you're doing tomorrow? Now this is awareness. It's not about clearing your mind. It's about noticing where your mind is. And that's an important distinction. I've had so many people tell me, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. But meditation isn't about having no thoughts. Awareness isn't about having no thoughts. It's about noticing your thoughts without allowing every single thought to control your life. Imagine standing on a riverbed. Leaves are floating down the water, and each one of these leaves representing one of your thoughts. Now, instead of jumping into the river and chasing every single leaf, you simply notice them and let them pass. That, my friend, is awareness. And that, my friend, is life changing. So we can't heal what we don't notice. And one of my favorite quotes is, awareness is the greatest agent for change. Now really think about that. If you're unaware that you're dehydrated, you don't drink water. If you're unaware that you're exhausted, you continue to push yourself. If you're unaware that you're speaking negatively to yourself, those thoughts, those negative thoughts, continue to shape how you see yourself. Awareness isn't what heals us. Awareness is what creates the opportunity for our healing. It's the doorway. You can't walk through a door that you don't know exists. Now let's talk about something that we all have. Our inner voice, our inner dialogue. And most of us are not even aware of how important our inner dialogue is. So our inner voice, that constant conversation happening inside of our minds all day, every day. And sometimes it's encouraging, sometimes it's critical, sometimes it's passionate, sometimes it's incredibly harsh. Like, let's be real. I want you to think about this. Would you ever speak to your best friend or your child or your spouse or your parent in the way that you sometimes speak to yourself? I'd say probably not. Yet many of us wake up every morning and immediately begin to criticize ourselves. I'm behind, I'm not enough, I should be doing more, I'll never figure this out. I should have went to bed earlier. I shouldn't have ate that yesterday. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. Bad, 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 bad. The problem as a whole isn't that these thoughts appear. The problem, the big, 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 huge problem is that we've believed them for so long that they have become automatic. Did a light bulb just go off in your head? Yes, I had this moment many, many years ago. It was life-changing. So, awareness, the reason why I say it is so crucial to life, it is so important. It is number one, if not number two. It is high up on there in the list of things that every single person should learn. We walk around this life that we were given on autopilot, in our monkey minds, not aware of how we're treating people, how we treat ourselves, what we're doing to our bodies, and so on and so forth. You get the gist. Awareness is what is going to interrupt these cycles. The next time you catch yourself speaking harshly to yourself, and pause, take one breath, and ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? Or ask yourself, would I say this to my child? Or ask yourself, would I say this to my parent, my grandma? Would I say this to my dog? Would I say this to a person walking down the street? And if the answer is no, maybe it's time to speak to yourself differently. I've said this before, if you followed me, you need to be your own best friend. There is never a reason for you to speak to yourself unkindly. Never. It is unacceptable. If you've done something that you consider to be wrong, parent yourself like you're your own child and make a pact with yourself that from this day forward, you speak to yourself only from a standpoint of love and kindness. That, my friend, is awareness. Healing often begins with changing the conversations that no one else hears. Now, awareness is also listening to your body. Your body is constantly communicating with you. The question is, are you listening? Now, we talked about this in part 1. Think about how often we ignore our body. We stay up too late. We skip meals. We overindulge ourselves. We go to Starbucks. We get that 800 calorie mocha, whatever, after not eating the entire day. And that is what we're using to fuel our body. We work through exhaustion. We tell ourselves, I'm young, I'll rest later. Until one day, our body says, no, you're going to rest now. Sometimes it's through illness. Sometimes it's through burnout. Sometimes it's through anxiety, panic attacks, which are absolutely horrible. And sometimes through complete exhaustion. But here's the thing. Here's a big, big, big thing. Before your body screams, your body whispers. Little breadcrumbs here and there that if you were aware, you probably would have caught on. So awareness teaches us to hear the whispers. Maybe today your body is asking for more sleep or movement or stillness or water. Maybe it wants you to cry. Maybe it wants you to laugh. The body has this incredible wisdom. We take our body for granted. Our body is what keeps us alive. Our body is the reason why we are alive. While we are living in our monkey mind on autopilot, our body is doing work that most of us are not even aware of. We are just blind to the fact of how lucky we are to be alive. But when we slow down enough to listen to the whispers of our body, we often discover it already knows what we need. So let's talk about emotions. I've said this before, emotions are energy in motion. Many of us spend years avoiding those uncomfortable emotions. I've done it, you've done it, everybody we know has done this once or twice, if not once or twice a day or more, right? We distract ourselves, we stay busy, we doom scroll on social media, we work more, we get together with our friends and talk about the woman down the street's problems because that makes us not focus on our own. We clean the house, we turn on the television, we constantly listen to music to avoid what's going on in our head. Guilty of that. Anything to avoid sitting with ourselves. That is a red flag, my friend. Red flag. Big, 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 bright red flag. If you are uncomfortable sitting in silence with yourself for 5 minutes, I am telling you to do it every day. 5 minutes a day, every single day. We do not grow in our comfort zone. And those emotions don't disappear because we ignore them. They wait, or they come out as, anxiety or panic attacks, or one day Susie says something to you and you have a major meltdown, and maybe you are lucky enough to put 2 and 2 together and realize, okay, it's time to get a handle on this. Awareness allows us to become curious instead of afraid. Instead of saying, I don't want to feel sad, you might ask yourself, what is this sadness trying to tell me? Instead of running from anger, ask yourself, what caused this? What boundary needs attention? What could I have done differently in this situation that would have not pushed me to anger? Did I not honor myself? Did I say yes when I meant to say no? Instead of pushing away fear, ask yourself, what do I need to feel safe? Am I not safe with this person? Am I not safe in this work environment? Am I not safe in my home? Emotions aren't enemies. They're messengers. They are allowing you to get deep down to that root cause so you can change your life for the better. Awareness just simply brings attention and teaches us to listen, to dive deeper for our own well-being. So having said that, let's connect this back to energy. One of the questions that I hear all of the time, how do I know if my energy feels off? And here's what I've noticed over the years. When we get disconnected from ourselves, life feels heavier. Life feels dense. We're more reactive, less patient. We are more overwhelmed, and we get overwhelmed much easier. We lose touch with what brings us joy. More laying in bed. I don't want to leave my house. I'm not going to go to the gym. I am not going to cook. I'm going to eat fast food. I'm going to eat junk food because I feel horrible. So what awareness does is awareness helps us recognize these little moments sooner. So instead of waiting until we are completely drained, we don't get out of bed, we haven't been to the gym in 2 months, we notice the small signs, those red flags along the way. We're becoming more irritable. Our sleep is affected. We're feeling disconnected, a lot of scrolling on the phone. We're saying yes to everything, even though we want to do nothing. We're forgetting to take care of ourselves. That awareness gives you the chance to gently return to balance. Sometimes balance is going to look like meditation. Sometimes it's going to look like a walk outside. It may look like asking for help. There is no shame in therapy. I have said this many times and I stand by it. 2 things should be mandatory. Many things should probably be mandatory, but therapy, not because people need it, but because it teaches them about their emotions and emotional intelligence. And also somatics, because that teaches you about what is going on in your body physically. And I feel like if people would have learned this, we wouldn't even need as much healing as we need, if that makes sense. So healing isn't always going to be dramatic. Healing is often these small, tiny choices that add up to huge changes and shifts in your life. And oftentimes when people think that they have to make a change, they think that it's so big, it just is completely overwhelming to them. But one small step in the right direction, I will tell you, is better than one small step in the wrong direction. So let's talk about awareness in our relationships. Relationships teach us so much about ourselves. Every interaction gives us an opportunity to notice, number one, how we respond to someone that disagrees with us. Number two, how do we respond when we feel rejected? How do we respond when we're hurt? How do we show love? How do we receive love? Another big one is, how do we act at home in our home with our family versus when we're outside of the home with our family? Do we act the same? Do we act better? Do we act worse? Awareness doesn't make perfect relationships, but it makes you more honest, you more compassionate, you more intentional. And maybe that's what we're all really searching for. Not perfection, but connection. So do me a huge favor and take one more slow breath. And inhale everything in your life that serves you. Love, light, peace, health, and happiness. And exhale what is no longer serving you. Let it go. That's perfect. Okay, so in part 3, we're going to explore intuition and boundaries, living more intentionally. And as always, I know time is precious, and I really, really, really am grateful that you chose to spend this time with me. Have a great day. See you next time.